Part 46. Dimensional Chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mungbean Garden. Chapter 451. Fanya held the flaming sword in his hand and rushed towards these sheep-headed monsters who were not afraid of death. Like a tiger rushing into a flock of sheep, no monster can stop him. Countless goat-headed monsters died at Fanya's swordsman, and even their bodies were turned into ashes. In less than 5 minutes, Fanya completely killed all the goat-headed monsters in the area. Well, it's time to warm up. Fanya knew that this was just an appetizer. More monsters were in the goat-headed monster's lair, where the real battle was. Thinking of this, Fanya continued to fly towards the goat-headed monster's lair. When Fanya just entered the goat-headed monster's lair, he felt waves of heart-stopping aura. In this open area, huge goat-headed monsters were standing there, looking at him fiercely. It seems that this group of sheep-headed monsters has given birth to many elite leaders, otherwise they would not gather here. Hee, it is your misfortune to meet me. Fanya's lips curled up slightly, revealing a smile. Immediately, he raised the flaming sword in his hand and attacked these goat-headed monsters. For a time, the entire goat-headed monster lair resounded with bursts of roaring sounds. Amidst the roar, goat-headed monsters continued to fall. But these goat-headed monsters did not stop attacking Fanya at all. Although these goat-headed monsters are numerous in number, their IQs are not very high. They just relied on their own brute force to continue fighting. Ha ha ha, you stupid things, your fate will be ruined in my hands today. While Fanya was attacking, he was taunting these sheep-headed monsters. After hearing Fanya's words, the anger of these sheep-headed monsters reached its peak, and they all attacked Fanya crazily. However, all their attacks were easily dodged by Fanya. Fanya's speed can be said to be as fast as lightning. He was able to deal with the attacks of the goat-headed monsters with ease. And these goat-headed monsters were just there to vent their anger. Fanya's strength was too strong, and any resistance seemed feeble in the face of absolute power. Fanya was like a mythical existence, and all the sheep-headed monsters were knocked to the ground, unable to attack Fanya again. Roar! A huge goat-headed monster, 6 to 7 feet long, suddenly stood up, roared to the sky, and stared at Fanya with a pair of blood-red eyes. How dare you harm our warriors? Today, I will use your blood to wash away these shames. The giant sheep-headed monster opened its mouth and spit out a stream of black smoke, and then a huge black shadow shot out from its mouth and hit Fanya. This black shadow is huge, several times larger than Fanya. It looks like a small hill, majestic. This monster is interesting. Fanya couldn't help but lick his lips when he saw this goat-headed monster. I have to say that Fanya was a little bored after all the killing. After finally seeing someone with pretty good strength, why not make Fanya excited? He had no intention of evading, and ran directly into the black shadow. Boom! The black shadow hit Fanya hard, but it did not push him back. Although the power of this black shadow is very amazing, it is a pity that it still cannot have any impact on Fanya. A layer of light blue mental defense appeared on the surface of Fanya's skin, and his defense power was greatly improved. The giant sheep-headed monster couldn't help but be a little surprised when it saw that its attack had no effect. Then it attacked again, and thick black smoke pillars struck Fanya one after another. Boom boom boom. The black smoke column covered the sky and swept towards Fanya, making it impossible for Fanya to avoid it no matter what. Fanya's face became more and more solemn. An attack of this level could have injured him. If he were an ordinary person, he would have lost his fighting ability long ago. Fanya's eyes flashed with cold light. This sheep-headed monster was indeed very powerful. The most important thing was that its power was really terrifying. However, no matter how powerful it was still no match for him. Fanya snorted coldly, and the flaming sword in his hand instantly became even hotter. A wave of the flaming sword brought with it an endless wave of heat, instantly evaporating all the black smoke columns. Huh? What happened? The giant black sheep-headed monster shouted in confusion, obviously not imagining that Fang Ye could easily defeat his attack. Although this giant sheep-headed monster is powerful, it has not yet become a human being and has no intelligence. It will simply do things based on instinct. Your attacks are still not enough for me. Fang Ye said coldly. What? Hearing what Fang Ye said, the giant sheep-headed monster suddenly became furious. It roared and launched another offensive. Black smoke pillars continued to spray out. This time, the number of black smoke pillars was even greater, occupying almost half of the space. Fang Ye snorted coldly, and the flaming sword in his hand started to dance again. These black smoke pillars have no effect at all in front of the flaming sword. Under such circumstances, they were easily chopped into pieces by Fang Ye. At this time, Fang Ye finally arrived behind the giant sheep-headed monster. Fang Ye held the flaming sword and stabbed fiercely into the body of the giant sheep-headed monster. Ah! A miserable howl sounded. This giant sheep-headed monster was penetrated by a sword, and its huge body slowly fell to the ground. Fang Ye closed his powers and continued walking towards the center of the goat-headed monster's lair. He could feel the fragment of the sword lying ahead. Soon, Fang Ye came to the center of the sheep-headed monster's lair, where there was a corpse lying here. This is the body of a goat-headed monster. Fang Ye couldn't help but frowned when he saw the corpse. This sheep-headed monster is an elite-level sheep-headed monster. Although it is not as good as the giant sheep-headed monster, it is not far behind. It was killed here, and it was obviously tortured. How is this going? Fang Ye was a little strange. He looked forward along the corpse. There were fragments of the sword placed on the high platform in front of him. He walked over slowly, reaching out to take the fragment of the sword in his hand. But suddenly there was a sound of wind behind his head, as if some sharp weapon was flying towards him at high speed. The angle was very tricky, right at the back of my head. Who? Fang Ye snorted coldly, turned around and punched the weapon away. It is a small but sharp dagger. I saw a person slowly walking out. This person was wearing a sacrificial robe. His entire body was hidden in the mist, and his true appearance could not be seen clearly. Outsiders, leave the sword fragment, otherwise don't blame me for being rude. The man said calmly. Dimensional chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mung Bean Garden. Chapter 452. Who are you? Why should you stop me? Fang Ye said with a sneer. I am a priest of the Dark Temple, and I am here to seize the sword fragments under the orders of my lord. Dark Temple? Fang Ye was slightly surprised. He already knew the origin of this person. In Diablo 2, the Zakarum Council that sealed the Hell Demon Mephisto was corrupted by the Dark Power and completely surrendered to Hell. Among them, their leader Kuei Gang was also brutally murdered by the devil, and even his body was broken into pieces. The Zakarum Temple in these councils was also changed to the Black Temple. I didn't expect to meet them here. But something that surprised Fang Ye a little was that this organization should have been wiped out in Diablo 2. How could it still survive in Diablo 3? Could this be the work of an agent from the gods? For a moment, Fang Ye thought a lot. The man in front of him seems not to be underestimated. He has extremely powerful dark power in his body, even comparable to the devil of hell. However, according to Fang Ye's estimation, he should not be his opponent. So he sneered and said, what if I have to take away the fragments? Humph, then you are looking for death. I saw a stern look in the man's eyes, and he stretched out his hand in an instant, and countless dark powers surged out, turning into black snakes and pounced towards Fang Ye. Fang Ye was not afraid. He just raised his hand and a wall of fire composed of countless flames instantly blocked his face. These black snakes were instantly burned clean by the blazing flames. But at this moment, a black blade flashed and struck Fang Ye's throat. Fang Ye was surprised. He didn't expect this person to be able to fight in close combat. He originally thought this person was a mage. This man's sword skills were so powerful that he actually split the air, creating a trail as black as ink, cutting towards Fang Ye. Fang Ye's expression changed drastically, and he quickly used his telepathy barrier to block the sword light. However, this black-clothed priest is too insidious and cunning, and his sword skills are extremely weird. Once Fang Ye slows down in turning the flame shield to resist, his sword may pierce Fang Ye's flame shield. Cover. But what he never expected was that his attack was completely unable to break through the mental barrier, not even a scratch. What on earth is this? So hard. He was surprised and quickly retreated. Want to run? No way. Fang Ye sneered, stepped out in the void, and came to the back of the black-clothed priest with one step. The flaming sword slashed hard at the man. But the man turned around and used the knife to resist Fang Ye's attack. I want to see how long I can block it. Fang Ye once again held the flaming sword in his hand and slashed at the man. The man held a short sword and fought fiercely with Fang Ye. He slashed at the flaming sword one after another, making a tinkling sound of gold and iron. The sound echoed in the cave, showing the strong strength of the two men. No matter how ferocious the man's attack was, Fang Ye's flaming sword was never knocked away. Instead, it left white marks on the man's long sword. Fang Ye also gradually realized that although the man was very strong, his sword skills were very messy and had no rules at all. It's just that his sword technique contains an evil energy, which makes this evil energy want to invade Fang Ye's body, constantly eat away at his flesh and blood, and erode his bones and soul. This kind of erosion is very fast and very vicious. Most people have no way to stop it. They can only temporarily suppress this erosion to prevent themselves from being eroded into a walking zombie that only knows how to kill. But over time, it will definitely become an undead creature. But Fang Ye is different. His mind barrier effectively blocks this evil force and cannot invade Fang Ye's body at all. Fang Ye held the flaming sword in his hand and was fighting on par with this man. But Fang Ye's flame sword is indeed more powerful than that man. It's just that the weapon in that man's hand is too powerful. The weapon in his hand is called the Blade of the Dead. It is an artifact given to him by Mephisto, the demon god of hell. It is very powerful. You're not bad for being able to last so long under my Blade of the Dead. The dark priest saw that it was not that simple to kill Fang Ye, so he started to praise him. Let's see how long you can hold on. After hearing this, Fang Ye showed a sneer at the corner of his mouth. Next, Fang Ye began to use his strongest move, the Serious Series, Serious Punch. Among all Fang Ye's current skills, the strongest ones are a few moves, including the Demon God Coming to the World, the Serious Series, and the Holy Text Series. Fire powers and telekinesis are very useful under normal circumstances, but when it comes to one-hit kills, you still have to pay attention to the series and the Holy Text series. These two can greatly improve Fang Ye's killing ability. He also relies on these two skills to often kill powerful enemies. The Fist of Destruction hit the Dark Priest's body instantly. He didn't even have time to dodge. He was hit almost in the blink of an eye. The powerful force instantly knocked him away and hit the rock wall hard, leaving a crack several feet deep on the rock surface. The figure of the black-robed priest rolled down the rocks for several meters before stopping. There were deep dents on his body, and his clothes were in tatters, exposing a section of his pale bones. How can this be? My strength was actually knocked back by his punch? His heart was filled with shock, and his eyes looking at Fang Ye were full of horror. Not dead. Fang Ye was surprised. There are only a few people who can take his own serious punch without dying. He didn't expect that this person could do it, which was almost unbelievable to Fang Ye. At this moment, a piece suddenly rolled down from the man's body and split into two. The remaining magic power inside the demon statue disappeared without a trace in an instant. Unexpectedly, even the stand-in golem was destroyed. It's unbelievable. The man stood up and said in surprise. It seems that you are the person that Bishop Silver said. It's really awesome. I lost this time, but don't be too happy. Our Lord is about to be resurrected, and even you will not be his opponent then. Remember my name, I am Ismail the Evil Hand. Cherish the time before the end comes. Ha ha. After saying that, the man turned around and flew out of the cave. He no longer planned to get the sword fragment and was ready to escape from here immediately. Fang Ye's power was beyond his imagination. He also knew that Fang Ye was not using all his strength. If he continued to fight, he would die here. But how could Fang Ye do what he wished? As soon as he moved, he caught up with the Black Priest in an instant, took action again, and slashed at the Black Priest. From the flaming sword in his hand, red fireballs emerged in mid-air, turning into balls of flames and blasting towards the black-clothed priest. Under Fang Ye's control, this flame was so powerful that it could destroy heaven and earth. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dimensional Chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mungbean Garden. Chapter 453. The fire energy surges against the storm. At this moment, the gloomy goat-headed monster's lair became much brighter under the energy of the flames. Damn outsiders, they actually want to kill me. Ismail was shocked. He didn't expect that Fang Ye would kill him. Boom. The energy of the flames enveloped Ismail. The intense high temperature made it difficult for him to adapt. The black mist rose and rolled, and the billowing smoke enveloped his sight. In an instant, Ismail disappeared into the space. Did you actually use Saddam's power to escape? You won't be so lucky next time. The opponent's strength is obviously not weak. In the Dark Temple, he is among the top 10 Aseus demon gods who are comparable to the Hell Demon King. He should also be on the list. The Aseus demon god is one of the top 10 generals of the Hell Demon god Mephisto. When he was sealed by the Zakaram Temple, he entered the forbidden space with these demon kings. Now this battle has awakened Fang Ye. According to the world plot, the Dark Three who took the sword fragment from him, the king of crime, Asmodan, in the plot line. Now Diablo 3 and Diablo 2 seem to be confused together. The plots are linked to each other, and I don't know if there will be overlap. However, the main plot and the worldview of the Dark World have not changed. It's just that there are some surprises in the current characters and timeline. As Ismail disappeared, the sword fragments were already in his bag. Just when Fang Ye had just put the sword fragments in his bag to complete the final mission. The darkness was deep and filled with the goat-headed monster's nest covered in violent blood also experienced strange movements. Fang Ye understood that this was the final battle. If the fragments were taken away, then the task would naturally be completed and the goat-headed monster's nest would disappear. Therefore, at this moment, it is the final battle. All the demon monsters will be out in force. Of course, the strength of these monsters is not that powerful. Among them, the giant wood ghost is more disgusting. The opponent's seeds can spread poisonous gas. It has a restrained effect on melee combat, which is just right. Karma is close combat. Among them, the most terrifying one is the plague bat. This is an evolved version of the monster, civilized by virtue of its large number. The most important thing is that their attacks are also out of the ordinary, but use poison. If they can't be the first, it takes time to destroy the opponent's nest, and Fang Ye will never think of leaving in this life. Because the nests of plague bats are endless and infinitely generated. Cultists are also a threat. Outsiders, put your things down or die. Facing Fang Ye, who was holding a fragment of the sword in his hand. They all felt horrified. It was a breath of death. They knew that they must not let this outsider take things away. Yurik said coldly. As a distortion of the prophet, he deeply understood how big a threat Fangye was to them. At the same time, he also knew the significance of the sword fragments. The phantom of the witch Magda, who was leading the cult disciples on the side, was also eyeing Fangye. As long as she gave an order, the cultists would kill Fangye. Launch all-out attack. Humph, it seems that if I don't wipe out all of you today, it will be difficult for me to leave here. Now, there is Ulrich's evil seal on top of the sword fragments. This seal must be cracked before the sword fragments are intact. Now this battle is inevitable. The flaming sword exudes dazzling light, the fiery red light. At this moment, Fangye transformed into Shura. Surrounded by countless monsters. The fire shot into the sky. The terrifying flame energy swept around. Countless monsters fell down in a large area in an instant. Damn outsider, you can't escape from here today. Looking at this scene, the phantoms of Ulrich and Magda were instantly furious. They roared. Countless monsters spewed out from the darkness. These monsters are not strong, but they are better in numbers. It is obvious that the other party intends to follow Fang. The purpose is to drag Fangye to death and keep him here forever. They can afford this kind of war of attrition. But what they don't know is that this calculation is destined to be wrong. Whether I can escape from here or not is not decided by your mouth. Since you want to play, then I will play with you. My Saitama physique is no joke. At that moment, Fangye twisted his neck slightly and made a crisp sound. He did not use the flame sword. He was fighting among the monsters with his bare hands. Each fist knocked several. The monster's head was deformed. No matter how big the monster was, it was as pale as a piece of paper in front of Fangye. This battle lasted for several days and nights. Not only did Fangye not feel any fatigue, but he became more energetic as he fought. Of course, for the same is true for Ulrich and Magda Phantom. Their cultists and monsters can continue to spawn. More and more corpses pile up during the battle. Fangye no longer knows how many times this is the charge of monsters. Boom! Suddenly. Violent sparks suddenly burst out from around Fangye. Monsters more than 10 miles around fell down one after another. His eyes were cold. I've had enough fun, now you all go to hell. I only saw Fangye suddenly turn into a ray of light, rushing towards the darkness ahead. No, he wants to take action against the dark force and stop him. Looking at this scene, Magda Phantom and Yurik were shocked at the same time, and quickly followed Fangye's pace. This dark place is their goat-headed lair, the last protective umbrella. Once they lose the protection of the dark force, the world will collapse. Entering the darkness, Fangye discovered the dark force on an altar not far ahead. This is a lifelike dark energy, suspended in it at the moment. The dark energy flickers from time to time. A black light emitted, and then countless monsters rushed out from inside. This evil power is indeed magical, but your legend ends here today. Just when Fangye was about to destroy the dark force and leave this place, two terrifying killing intent locked on his back. Unknowingly, Fangye's feet were entangled in chains and could not move forward even half a step. Magda's Phantom and Yurik immediately stood in front of Fangye. A dark energy eroded Fangye's body with strong corrosion. I tried twice, but it was useless. I want to leave today and none of you can stop me. Fangye smiled coldly. Then he punched out, and Yurik was instantly knocked far away, hit the wall hard, and sank in. Magda's Phantom was even slapped by Fangye, and flew away with a powerful force, making the whole person dizzy, and tinnitus. Boom. Dimensional Chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mungbean Garden. Chapter 454. This time Fangye didn't hesitate again. The flaming sword stabbed straight at the dark force. The hot flame energy surged against the storm, wrapping the dark force within it. No. Looking at this scene, Magda Phantom and Yurik felt as if they had fallen into an ice cellar. They both knelt on the ground. Lord, please forgive our blasphemy. As the dark force dissipated, these people gradually disappeared. Thousands of sheep-headed monsters and monsters of other species dissipated into the air at a speed visible to the naked eye. It was really not easy, but I finally got this thing. Fang Ye sighed deeply. His Saitama attribute is destined that the longer the battle lasts, the higher his combat effectiveness will be. After all, this is a man with no upper limit for growth. This is also the reason why so many people like Saitama, the combat effectiveness it's too exciting. At this moment, the plot of Diablo has also come to its final stage. Fang Ye has never forgotten the purpose of his trip from beginning to end. The plot battle between angels and demons has come to an end. The moment after. Continue to develop according to the original plot. Leia was sacrificed to Diavolo by her mother. In the end, he was killed by Na'Efishan. Because Fang Ye had already prevented the scene from happening from the beginning when he entered this game world. Diavolo had already been dismissed by him in advance. Therefore, Diavolo does not play a big role in the subsequent plot. His plan also ended in failure because of Fang Ye's appearance. Of course, in the plot, Diavolo is not actually a main character. Because the real big boss hasn't appeared yet. Now it has been determined that those who have no role in the subsequent plot arrangements are Leia's mother and Diavolo. Diavolo can no longer be reborn by absorbing the other 6 demon kings. But if Fang Ye's guess is correct, the final outcome will not change, that is, the battle between angels and demons. Malthal and the Hell Demon have not appeared yet. However, due to his previous series of actions, Malthal can no longer appear, and what he needs to worry about most now is the Demon King of Hell. Because it follows the development of the original work. Now that the plot has reached this stage, Malthal is dead, but not before he dies. He has broken the Dark Soul Stone, which means that the final boss, the Hell Demon, has actually appeared. Judging from the current symmetry of the balance between the two sides, the devil has an absolute advantage in terms of total combat power. The devils of hell are in the dark, and they are in the light. As long as the Demon King of Hell has not yet appeared, the battle between angels and demons will continue without end. The good news is that after obtaining the sword fragments, as long as the sword is recast, Logo's memory can be awakened. Strength can also return to its peak. Tyrael, one of the angel kings whose strength has returned to its peak, is the master of the plot of this game. It is also the final chapter. The Demon King of Hell is no match for him at all. In other words, Fang Ye is now one step away from completing his mission, and everything that follows is a matter of course. To prevent accidents. After obtaining the sword fragments, Fang Ye rushed back to the blacksmith's basement without stopping. After traveling all night, Fang Ye finally came back and appeared in front of everyone. Fang Ye's appearance made everyone overjoyed. You are finally back. Looking at everyone, Fang Ye smiled faintly and took out the sword fragments he had worked so hard to obtain. Haha, luckily, I am lucky enough to live up to my fate. As the sword fragments were obtained, Leia did not hesitate. Her body contains special energy. This is why Diavolo wanted to use her as a container. And this power can be recast. The sword. It can help Tyrell in front of him recover his memory, thereby restoring his own strength to its peak. As long as Tyrell can recover, Fang Ye believes that Deckard Cain's immortal body can be restored under Tyrell's energy. It shouldn't be difficult to become a normal person. I just hope that everything can go as planned. At the end of the plot, Leia and Deckard Cain actually have a good ending. The two of them finally depend on each other and study other things on the continent together. In Leia, under the illumination of sub-energy, the sword fragments were slowly recast. A special energy surged out from Tyrell's body, and then only several fragments were seen condensed in Tyrell's body. Together, under the aggregation of many fragments, a shining golden sacred sword suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Among them, a huge and unrivaled sacred power came oncoming. This power soon entered Terry inside your body. Under the illumination of this golden light, his old body's vitality is increasing at a speed visible to the naked eye. This power is familiar to everyone. This is the power of angels. Is he really the king of angels? No one would have thought that an old man could have such huge power and be the king of angels. Haha, yes, he is Tyrell, one of the angel kings. Feeling the resurgence of this power, Fang Yezong said, now he is finally sure. As long as the angel king Tyrell recovers his strength, the demon king of hell will no longer be his opponent. Because of the chain reaction of everything done before, Fang Ye has interrupted many key steps in this plot, and this has resulted in the devil's overall strength being severely weakened. The inevitable result of this weakening. The general's plan for himself is finally almost completed. Of course, in the end you have to be careful every step of the way. Who knows if any unexpected situations will happen? After all, this plot has continued from the beginning to the present, and there are no unexpected situations. There are a few plots, and they have deviated from the original planned track. If you follow in terms of normal combat power, the Angel King Tyrell will definitely have the upper hand in the confrontation with the Hell Demon King. But because of the lessons learned from the past, Fang Ye dare not directly guarantee it now. It can only depend on the situation. If he needs to take action at that time, he must be obliged to do so. In short, he only has one plan now, which is to help the Angel King defeat the devil. Then he will use the power of the Angel King to fight against the headquarters of the God's Agent. Nowadays, the power of the God's Agent is getting bigger and bigger. This is also true. This made the Fang Yi very worried. Therefore, he could no longer delay it. The more critical the moment came, the more he felt the need to breathe a sigh of relief. Under the constant illumination of this sacred light. In just a few days, Terry, your aura and strength are increasing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Dimensional chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mungbean Garden. Chapter 455. Time flies by. Tyrell's strength is rising steadily. The power of the Angel King is clearly displayed at a speed visible to the naked eye. When this dazzling light disappears, an old man in white robes appeared in front of everyone, holding a scepter. His eyes are filled with vicissitudes of life. I feel like my strength is coming back. What is this place? Tyrell looked around calmly, looking at the strangers in front of him. His voice was low and full of magnetism. Great, Angel King Tyrell, you finally woke up. The human world Ariat needs your help. Please use your power to defeat the Hell Demon and save everyone. Fang Ye breathed a sigh of relief and said quickly. Except for Fang Ye, everyone else in front of him knelt down and worshipped him. Tyrell looked at Fang Ye kindly. Young man, you saved me. With the recovery of his memory, Tyrell also understood what happened during the time when he lost his memory. The young man in front of him saved him. Then he silently took out a seal and handed it to Fang Ye. This is the angel's promise. Using the angel's promise, I can promise you one thing and help you complete it. After getting the token, Fang Ye couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. This is what he wanted. This is the promise of the Angel King. He has successfully completed all the current plots about the God of Darkness. The plot here is actually not difficult to understand. In essence, it is still a battle between demons and angels. Angels turn into meteors and fall from the sky and land on Fenjiun continent. Only the Angel King Tyrell can resist the three demons of hell. The role played by humans in this is like a mediator. But this so-called mediator also plays an indispensable role in the role-playing between the three parties. Because humans inherit the mixed power of demons and angels. The top priority now is to find the 3 demon gods of hell and defeat them. Angel King, do you have any idea? Fang Ye said, full of hope. In the original work, Fang Ye didn't trust the Archangel Tyrell in front of him too much. Why did he fall from the sky and turn into a meteor, causing him to lose his memory in the end? Even his own powerful angelic power was gone. Tyrell was actually just from the beginning. He wanted to help humans. During the battle between angels and demons, humans became stronger and stronger, and were finally punished. But as the World Stone was broken, human power slowly began to grow again. Recovery. Now, with the help of Fang Ye, the Angel King has once again transformed from a mortal identity into one of the Angel Kings. With Fang Ye's intervention, all the plots have not developed in a too bad direction. This is also the reason why Fang Ye still trusts Tyrell now. After hearing Fang Ye's words, Tyrell couldn't help but smile and shook his head. The human world is too fragile and battles cannot take place here. What's more, the 3 demon gods of hell are not here at the moment. I will return to heaven and reunite with other angel kings to destroy the devil. A new battle is about to begin. After what happened this time, I think you humans also have strong willpower. It's undeniable, now that the World Stone has been broken. Next, you humans will gain unprecedented strength. I believe this is actually not a bad thing. Looking at Fang Ye's eyes, Tyrell's eyes were full of relief. Why did they weaken the power of human beings before? Because they saw the weakness and frailty of human beings. In the face of desire, it is difficult for human beings to maintain their beliefs. But now it just proves that humans also have people with firm beliefs. Strong humans will not be corrupted by demons. This fully guarantees the trust of angels in humans and the subsequent peaceful coexistence. I feel strange because the energy in your body does not seem to come from our world. Hearing this, Laya and others looked at Fang Ye in surprise. This news was quite shocking. Fang Ye was not from their world. Where did he come from? And why should he help them? As expected of the King of Angels, I can see through everything at a glance. Yes, I am indeed not from your world. Just like you, I also have my own mission. Tyrell nodded. Although you don't belong to this world. But you also used your courage and firm belief to save mankind in this world. Nephilim appear in every generation of human beings. There is no doubt that you are the Nephilim of this generation. The so-called Nephilim are like saviors. They are humans with powerful strength. They shoulder the burden of saving the world and changing the destiny of mankind. No thanks, I was just doing what I was supposed to do. Tyrell smiled and nodded, waving to everyone. I sensed that the power of the demons around me was greatly reduced, and the next battlefield will take place in the sky. This is the final, ultimate battle between our angels and demons. Goodbye, everyone. Finally, the main battlefield has been moved. This means that the plot he carried out before is correct. Fang Ye breathed a sigh of relief. Just when Tyrell was about to set off, Fang Ye suddenly stopped him. The other party. Wait, I want to go up with you. Really, let alone Tyrell, everyone was surprised when he said this. This is a battle of gods. It is difficult for them to intervene in a battle of this level. What is Fang Ye doing? The battle between angels and demons is no joke, kid, what are you doing? There is no doubt that as a Nephilim, Fang Ye's strength is beyond doubt. But the current human strength is obviously not strong enough, and they still need some time to grow. The contest between angels and demons represents 2 levels. The pinnacle of Fang Ye's strength is very strong among humans, but if it is compared to the battle in heaven, it is obviously not enough. This outsider will only die in vain. I have my own confidence and strength. Don't worry, I won't hold you back. Although his mission has been completed, Fang Ye is still a little uneasy. He has obtained the angel's promise. Theoretically speaking, the 10th restricted area is now the finishing work. He has completed the mission. But he is still a little uneasy. This time there are many plots that are unexpected. Who knows who will win in the battle between angels and demons? If there is another unexpected situation, Fang Ye will not have time to cry. In order to avoid this situation to the greatest extent, he chose to go up and take a look, and help him by the way, until he was sure that the angel defeated the devil. Only then did he feel at ease. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dimensional Chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mung Garden. Chapter 456. Young people have great courage. If you want to come, then come. This will be an unprecedented battle and the last battle. As a Nephilim, you are qualified to observe. Tyrell didn't think so much and nodded happily. He didn't know what Fang Ye was thinking at this moment. But even if he knew, he would just laugh it off. The battle between angels and demons has always been dominated by angels. The upper hand lies in their overall strength. The demons cannot defeat them. As long as they unite with other angel kings, it will be easy to catch them. Farewell to everyone. Fang Ye and Tyrell flew towards the sky. Compared to the angel kings lifting into the air with energy, Fang Ye's face was indifferent, and then he motioned for everyone to retreat a few dozen miles. The next moment, he suddenly exerted force on the soles of his feet, and a shock wave came from the toes. A strong thrust sent Fang Ye flying into the sky, and at an extremely fast speed. At this moment, the continent was filled with dust and smoke, making it difficult for everyone to see what was happening on the scene. They only heard a violent explosion. As the smoke gradually dissipated, the scene in front of them still appeared in front of everyone. Let everyone shocked, extremely unbelievable, looking at this scene. It is more than 10 miles in radius. A large piece of it is dented, just like the fall of a fashion. This man is so weird. Angels lift into the sky with their strength, but he lifts up with his strength. He rushed up with brute force. His unique method made everyone laugh. Of course Fang Ye has flying skills. The reason why he took off in this way was to prove his strength to the Angel King. You young man has such great brute strength. There seems to be no end in sight to your strength. I underestimated you before. Angel King Tyrell chuckled. Fang Ye didn't say anything and flew to heaven with him. This is where the angels live. Soon, Fang Ye followed Tyrell to the place where the angels live. As the energy of the Tyrell Angel King spreads not far away, a powerful aura slowly comes, and this is suddenly in Aries. The two Angel Kings are gathered together like this power is definitely terrifying, not to mention that this is the headquarters where angels live. As we all know, the source of power for angels is the crystal arch. The source of power for demons is the abyss furnace. It is precisely because of these two powers that the new species of human beings was born. Species. That's why humans have the power of angels and demons. Being between these two powers is a test for humans. They need to face the dual temptation of power and desire. At the calmest point in time make the right decision. It is conceivable that the situation faced by human beings from the beginning was not good. Instead, it has been slowly developing with the current plot. Only then has it come to a relatively good environment. Tyrell, I didn't expect you to come back. Looking at the person in front of him, Inaries said with a slight sigh. After the original Justice League meeting ended, Tyrell ignored all opinions and gave up the power of angels alone. He came down from heaven and wanted to help humans find the answer. Proves that humans can also withstand temptation and remain calm in the face of great strength. Now that Tyrell is back, it proves that he has completed it. Go to Zeus space. I have sensed that there are only 2 of the 3 hell demons left. Now is the best time for us to take action. The eternal war between angels and demons has come to an end, and now it's time for us to rule. The so-called Zeus space is the place where the hell demon god is resurrected. As long as there is the abyss furnace, the hell demon god can be resurrected no matter how many times he dies, just like angels. However, there are exceptions to everything, that is, the soul completely dissipates. Just like Fang Ye before Diavolo's soul was scattered. In other words, Diavolo has disappeared in all plots. There is no way to use the abyss furnace to resurrect. This matter is not yet certain. We have to wait until the final battle comes. Fang Ye is also curious whether Diavolo will be resurrected. Now that you have returned successfully, let me listen to you. I only saw Tyrell waving the angel scepter in his hand, and a surging power spread from the sky. Countless angel warriors gathered here. There were many people, densely packed. The auras of these angels are very deep. Is this the power of angels? If this power is added, the chances of winning against the agents of gods will indeed increase a lot. It seems that the general was right to ask me to come here this time. Now the 10th penalty area has reached the final stage. It's finally almost time to call it a day. It is unimaginable that if the 10th forbidden zone did not have his intervention, the demons would gradually erode the world of angels. The entire human world would be in disaster. Fortunately, because of his intervention, this situation will never happen again. In fact, Fang Ye also knows that judging from the overall strength, the angels now have a great advantage. No matter how dangerous the 10th restricted area is, they can't escape the constraints of the plot. Because of his intervention, various plots ended early. Some important characters either died or were killed. Control cannot make any big waves. The final outcome must be the victory of the angels. In fact, the reason why Fang Ye came up this time was just to see if Diavolo was dead. Will the abyss furnace resurrect him? Zeus space. It is a place where angels and demons fight all year round. A large number of corpses of angels and demons have fallen here. As Tyrell's power spreads around, the originally dim and lightless space of Zeus is displayed in front of everyone with a clear picture. Countless weapons below and some skeletons verified the vicissitudes of life here. Surrounded by some collapsed mountains, only half of them were left, as well as cracks after being hit. It is difficult to imagine how fierce the battle here was. As Tyrell was released the power of provocation. Not far away, a black hole-like entrance slowly emerged, from which countless sharp roars and roars of demons came. The originally silent Zeus space slowly became lively at this moment. Countless ferocious demons emerged from the black hole came out. It seemed like an endless stream. Then two behemoths appeared in front of everyone, and Fang Ye's heart was lifted. He couldn't be more familiar with these two hell demons. Mephitis, the king of hatred, and Baal, the king of destruction. There is no doubt about their strength. They represent the strongest combat power of demons today. Fang Ye did not find that Diavolo was inside. Seeing this, Fang Ye breathed a sigh of relief. It was just as he imagined, because he eliminated Diablo soul, causing the Abyss Forge to be unable to restore his power. What happened? Where has this guy Diavolo gone? The three major hell demons are now missing one, which puts them at a disadvantage for the demons. Dimensional chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mung Garden. Chapter 457. The Tyrells were stunned for a moment, not expecting such a result. With their current strength, it is not difficult to deal with the three demon gods of hell. It is easy to gather all the power of the angels and defeat the opponent in one fell swoop. But now there are only two of the three hell demon gods left, and their strength has been greatly reduced, let alone their opponents. Looking at this scene, Fang Ye felt slightly relieved. Sure enough, the plot didn't change much, Diavolo did disappear. Impossible, this is impossible. As for Diavolo, Why hasn't he been resurrected? Mephitis and Baal panicked. Now they are recovering their strength. Their own strength is far from restored, and they have no chance of winning against the angels. Of course, only they themselves know why their strength has not recovered. As demons through the abyss furnace, you can restore your strength in a very short time. It seems that everything is already under control. Just when Fang Ye was about to breathe a sigh of relief, his face suddenly changed, and his brain felt a little nervous for a while. The smell of numbness. Ever since he came here, everything he has done seems to be too smooth. At the beginning, he would encounter some guys who were agents of gods to interfere with them. But until now, he has never encountered them again. You must know that the 10th restricted area is actually the stronghold of the agents of the gods. This is a controlled place. In other words, every move of Fang Ye is actually under the control of the agents of the gods, but the other party has not yet come forward. He didn't believe that his plot could really be completed so smoothly, and the divine agent did nothing. This was incredible. Sure enough, Fang Ye's intuition was accurate. Just when this idea came out of his mind when they were rising, two men in black suddenly appeared in front of the two demon gods. A familiar and cold sense of oppression hit them. These two people were clearly the top killers sent by the gods. You guys actually showed up, what the hell are you doing? Fang Ye frowned slightly and said coldly. He had fought against the agents of gods many times, and each time it ended with him killing the opponent's general. But the situation today is obviously very different. This is the 10th forbidden zone for gods. Agent, the headquarters must take this place very seriously. What's more, these two people put a lot of pressure on themselves. This made Fang Ye feel a headache at the moment. You are Fang Ye. You are very famous in our headquarters recently. Now you dare to come to this 10th restricted area. You have a lot of tricks up your sleeve, but since you're here, just stay. I killed so many of them in a row, it's hard not to be famous. I will kill as many as you people come. The 10th restricted area is not your territory, let alone your private property. The enemies were extremely jealous when they met. Fang Ye didn't even bother to say anything to these guys. He was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in front of the two men in black and punched out. The force was already terrifying. The man in black shook his hand lightly and easily blocked Fang Ye's attack. What? How can this be? I do not believe. It's fake, it's too fake. Fang Ye doesn't want to believe this fact no matter what. Ever since he had Saitama's physique, Fang Ye has never failed in a head-on confrontation with the enemy. He relies on his own strength. Powerful power. He used all his strength to punch just now. It was hard to resist. The opponent neutralized his attack easily. The abyss furnace, yes, the abyss furnace. Fang Ye suddenly thought of something incredible. The opponent had mastered the source of the devil's power. And in this punch, he felt the surging power of the opponent's devil. The next moment, the man in black waved his hand gently, and Fang Ye was knocked back dozens of steps. The powerful force made his internal organs vibrate. Young man, come back quickly. You are no match. The opponent has the power of the abyss furnace. I feel the surging demonic power. Tyrell also didn't expect that things would become so complicated. The sudden appearance of these two men in black caught him off guard. It was obvious that these two men in black were not from this world. What should I do? If this continues, I will definitely lose. I am no match at all. Fang Ye was extremely anxious. In other words, he had thought about the problem too easily. From the beginning, the agent of the gods was deliberately paralyzing himself and letting him relax his vigilance. It was obvious that the other party had succeeded. He was now alone. It is difficult to resist the opponent with strength. By the way, the task was completed, why didn't I think of it? Suddenly, Fang Ye suddenly realized. He thought of the system. This time, the task given to him by the system had nothing to do with being an agent of the gods, but to help the angels exterminate the demons. As long as he could complete this task, he could also get a golden legend rating. Completed. First, let's talk about the tasks assigned by the system. Quickly, destroy Mephitis and Baal. Fanya shouted quickly towards Tyrell. Haha, these are just two trashes, are they useful? After hearing Fanya's words, the two black men were stunned for a moment. Mephitis and Bar are now their pets, and as they have mastered the power of the Abyss Furnace, the entire 10th restricted area is their world. Now the one thing that still poses a slight threat to them is the Crystal Holy Arch. This is the power of angels. For the time being, they can only seal it and cannot use it. They can only find another way. But this is only a matter of time. Listen carefully. As for Fanya, although Tyrell didn't know what Fanya wanted to do, he still released the angelic power immediately. He immediately released the spell. Asaman, all this is destined, this eternal battle is destined to be over, devil, accept the judgment of the angel. The ending has been decided. Tyrell waved the angel scepter in his hand high. The incomparable white light lit up in the sky, forming a white vortex. Under this white vortex, Mephitis and Baal were still the same. There was no room to fight back. The demonic power in the body quickly evaporated and the body gradually became transparent. The two men in black looked on with cold eyes and had no intention of taking action. They were just two hell demons. They were dead. Dead. They didn't believe that Fanya could still play any tricks. The two hell demons never thought of it until they died. Of course, they are still recovering their strength, waiting for the final holy battle. But now they have disappeared in this form, even there's no room for resistance. The most important thing is that they don't even know what's going on. Unexpectedly, the agents of the gods have taken full control of this place. The three demon gods of hell died in frustration. Fanya couldn't help but shook his head with some regret. According to the original plot, Dimensional Chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mung Garden. Chapter 458. The three demon gods of hell are very powerful. Even the two archangels are difficult to eliminate when their opponents are at their peak. Otherwise, the eternal battle between angels and demons would not have lasted for so long, until now. With the emergence of divine agents and Fanya, destroying layer after layer of plots and important links as key nodes, the result was that the three demon gods of hell died in confusion. The powerful demon god of hell is reduced to a supporting role. Fanya's guess was indeed correct. At this moment, a familiar voice sounded in his mind. Completed the mission of the 10th Forbidden Zone. Rating, Golden Legend. To get the Angel's Promise and get a crystal ball. Endow it with 1,500 attribute points and unlock the angelic radiant energy that can purify all darkness in the world. As the system reward fell, Fanya's breathing became much faster. He listened to the system's words in disbelief. The so-called crystal ball contains 50% of Archangel Tyrell's energy. It can exert great power in key roles. You will no longer be passive when fighting against agents of gods. You can have unexpected effects. The 1,500 attribute points are also exaggerated. The most important thing is the angel's brilliance. I have unlocked another ability. It belongs to the ability of angels. The 10th forbidden area is well deserved. After allocating 1,500 attribute points, Fanya clearly felt the power in his body, and it was strengthened again. This time the strengthening was particularly significant. These two outsiders are so powerful. Young man, please leave quickly. Now the power of the crystal arch has been sealed. We have no way. You can only delay them for a while, and all hope is on you. As the other party used the power of the Abyss Furnace, Tyrell was surprised to find that his relationship with the crystal arch was cut off. This also meant that their angel clan could no longer provide a steady stream of energy through this thing. This would it is fatal. At this moment, the angel clan was shocked in their hearts. Where did these people come from? And why do they know so much about their world? Hold on, I'll go out and get reinforcements. I'll be back soon, waiting for me. After Fang Ye finished speaking, he quickly opened the forbidden space while the two men in black were not paying attention. He fled here immediately. Although he obtained the Golden Legend rating, his strength increased significantly, and he even had the power of an angel, coupled with other powers in his body. Fang Ye might not be able to fight. But he left first after all. The opponent has the Abyss Furnace, which can continuously provide power. It is useless no matter how hard he fights, it is just a waste of time. According to the theory generally speaking, it is true that Fang Ye Saitama's physique is getting stronger as he fights. God's agent is full of tricks, just in case, and now he has completed his mission. And he has also figured out the opponent's strength. 3. The best strategy is to go out and recruit reinforcements. Fang Ye has a hunch that this will be a big move. The power of the God's agents is becoming more and more powerful now, especially after occupying the 10th restricted area. It can be clearly seen. They are ambitious. They obviously want to dominate the world. But now they really have such strength. It is difficult to compete with each other with their own strength. Do NT fight a meaningless battle? This is also his purpose. The most urgent task is to unite the military. It is the top priority. Fang Ye's sudden disappearance made the two men in black stunned. How could he be able to tear apart space and escape on his own? Is this the legendary space ability? Impossible. The forbidden space can only allow him to enter, and it is impossible for him to leave. Even the military cannot have such magical powers. As we all know, the restricted area can only be entered or exited once. Fang Ye did not come in through formal procedures, but tore apart the space through precise coordinate positioning. And they are the controllers of this world, as long as they block this space. The outside world there are ways for people to come in, but the people inside cannot get out without their permission. This is why they looked at Fang Ye like a clown just now. In their view, Fang Ye was already in the bag. A thing, a sheep waiting to be slaughtered. But at this moment, this guy tore apart the space in front of them and ran away. How could they not be shocked? This guy is really weird, he actually let him run away. Haha, forget it, now the 10th restricted area is also our master, so what if we run away? As long as it doesn't affect our plans. Fang Ye's escape was somewhat beyond their expectations. But it's not a big deal. He's just an unimportant person. There will always be a chance to deal with him next time. After leaving the 10th restricted area and returning to his own world, Fang Ye breathed a sigh of relief. As soon as he came back, he hurriedly called Suzuki-u. After learning that the other party was safe, Fang Ye felt relieved. Is the 10th penalty area dangerous? What's going on? Suzuki-u asked curiously. Fang Ye called her as soon as he came back, which made her very happy. Fang Ye shook his head slightly and spoke in a deep voice. It's too late to say this now. Just stay at home and don't come out if you have nothing to do. I'll talk about it when I get there. I still have some important things to do. After making the call, Fang Ye thought for a while and then called the woman from the Shu family. Although he was not interested in this woman, she was kind to him after all and considered caring about him. This call still had to be made. He and the agents of the gods are on a par with each other. Even Fang Ye didn't expect that he was so famous among them. It is conceivable that the other party has actually focused on him, so the people around him will definitely not let it go. Now is a critical moment, and you have to be careful when you need to. Fortunately, the situation is not bad. After confirming that both women are safe at the moment, Fang Ye immediately heads towards the military headquarters. This matter depends on him alone. It is difficult for one person to achieve anything. He has to unite the power of the military headquarters. When he arrived at the military headquarters, Fang Ye quickly met the general under the instructions of these troops. Fang Ye, you are finally back. How is the situation in the 10th restricted area? Is the mission completed? As soon as he entered the door and saw Fang Ye, the general came over anxiously and asked. After thinking about Fang Ye for a while, Fang Ye decided not to tell the general that he had gained angel power. It was not that he wanted to hide it. But the battle is not over yet. Everything will wait until the 10th restricted area is occupied. The situation is worse than I imagined. The 10th restricted area has been completely occupied by agents of gods. And the opponent has obtained the eternal power of the devil, the abyss furnace. No one in the 10th penalty zone is a match for the agents of the gods, they already have control there. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dimensional Chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mung Garden. Chapter 459. As Fang Ye finished speaking, everyone's hearts couldn't help but sink. The general sighed even more. This is our biggest headache now. They have mastered the abyss furnace and can continuously use the power of demons. Now, they control more and more cities. If this situation is not stopped, it goes without saying. I believe you understand. At that time, their power will continue to expand disorderly and even affect our military to a certain extent. The consequences are disastrous. The headquarters of God's agent is indeed not simple. They are in the dark. It is unrealistic to find them all at the moment. The military cannot use too much power to deal with this. Because in this world there are still many dangerous places that require experts to maintain. However, if this situation is left alone, there will definitely be chaos in the future. After hearing this, Fang Ye touched his nose awkwardly and shrugged slightly. With all due respect, I'm just a student. This is an internal matter within your military department, and I don't have the authority to take care of these things. These two men in black make Fang Ye feel scared. In fact, even if the other party has mastered the power of the abyss furnace, Fang Ye might as well give it a try. His current strength is also not simple. Moreover, after completing the golden rating of the 10th restricted area from now on, his strength will leap forward again. There is a chance for a fight. Of course, it is best not to fight if possible. Those two men in black gave Fang Ye the feeling of being very dangerous. Much more dangerous than what he had encountered before. They are extremely powerful and have many methods. For them, the abyss furnace is even more of a right-hand man. So it is best not to fight. It is not your turn to fight. General, this time, I have also obtained information for you. I still have a lot of things to do next. With your strength, it will definitely not be a problem to find a few masters to deal with the opponent. I joined in. Fang Ye said nonchalantly. After hearing this, the general suddenly smiled and shook his head. I'm afraid this won't work. You have to go in this 10th restricted area once. You have to go. But don't worry, I basically understand the situation. This time, I will arrange a team to go with you to ensure that you can complete it smoothly. I won't let you fight alone. Don't forget the promise you made to me, I will protect you, you have to do things for me. And you have no way out. Now, the gods' agents are targeting you. It's not safe wherever you go, and you need the protection of the military. These words made Fang Ye choked and speechless. This general is really an old fox. He directly blocked Fang Ye's retreat. It's not okay to let Fang Ye go, and it's okay not to go. Okay, although it feels bad to be targeted by an agent of the gods, the feeling of being targeted by your military department is not much better. I have something to say first. You have to protect my people. The agents of gods are terrifying. Now even Fang Ye himself cannot guarantee that he can escape successfully every time under the opponent's assassination. Not to mention Lu Lixin and the others. This is Fang Ye's final bottom line. You can rest assured that our military department will give you a satisfactory explanation. What's more, those two girls are from big families, and it will not be easy for the gods' agents to take action against them. Fang Ye nodded slightly. With this guy, he is quite relieved. Let's go, this matter cannot be delayed, otherwise more accidents will happen. I will take you to the military headquarters now. I already have a suitable team. When the time comes, let them go with you. When the time comes, you will tell them the situation. They will help you. The people in the military department are still interested in taking a look. Compared with the academy, the masters in the military department are obviously of higher quality. Moreover, they are all selected through strict selection at all levels. Those who came to the military department are training ground. Here are huge buildings. On them, there are clear team titles and levels. The most powerful is S level, followed by A level, and so on. Of course, even the worst E level, there is no doubt that he is stronger than many people in the academy. The military is not ambiguous at all in selecting masters. This is why so many people are trying to get in. Of course, this kind of thing, Fang Ye not interested. No matter what level you are, it doesn't matter. As long as you can complete the task. Basically, those who reach C level are very important in our military department. Currently, we don't have many B level teams left here, and the number of people is also very short. Let's look for them from C level. However, even if it is a C level team, I will find the best for you, don't worry. Fang Ye nodded slightly. In fact, if we put aside the strength, with his current combat quality, he may not even be able to compare with these military C-level teams. This is not an exaggeration, but a fact. The training intensity of the military is they are notoriously strict, and they are all the best among people. Anyone who dares to underestimate them is totally wrong. Because this is his first time here, Fang Ye is very curious about everything around him. Just like a country bumpkin. Fang Ye has to admit one thing. Even if a genius from Wushan Academy enters the military headquarters, he will probably be buried immediately. Because the most indispensable thing here is talent. With talent and hard work, he can only survive here. That's it. If you want to be better, you need to pay a higher price. Entering the interior, at this moment, a total of 3 people are undergoing special training here. Only 3 people. Looking at these 3 people, Fang Ye was stunned for a moment. Class C is indeed not bad among the military, but 3 people are too few. Looking at the 3 people training in front, there was a flash in the general's eyes. Sad. Instead of 3 people, there were originally 20 people. However, after various battles, there are only 3 left. Among the C-level teams, they should be the ones I can best take advantage of right now. With their strength, they could actually be promoted to Class A already, but they just didn't want to. After hearing this, Fang Ye was silent for a moment. It turns out there is such a story here. These people are worthy of admiration. A team of dozens of people fought until there were only 3 people left. The opponent still did not choose to change the team. Not everyone can possess this kind of courage. Wouldn't they consider joining others? A team of 3 people, what tasks can they perform? Admiration is admiration, everything must be based on reason. Dimensional chosen, only I know Saitama is the strongest. Author, Mung Garden. Chapter 460. The battle in the restricted area is very dangerous. If you are not careful, you will be in danger. Therefore, the greater the number of people, the higher the safety factor. With 3 people, Fang Ye really didn't know what they could do. Even if the people sent by the college to perform tasks form a team, it will only be 5 people. Don't underestimate these 3 people. As I said just now, their strength has reached a level so far. Moreover, the 3 of them have carried out a total of more than 20 important tasks, large and small, so far. Second rate. It's 100% done every time. Others also wanted to join their team, but unfortunately, they were not qualified and were declined by them. It is said to be a C-level team, but in fact, it is a veritable A-level team. Although I am a general, I cannot force others to join without their consent. After hearing these words, Fang Ye's eyes lit up. General, you have done a good thing this time. A team comparable to an A-level team. Even if there are only 3 people, the gold content is enough. You don't even have to listen to the general. But this is normal. This is a heroic team and deserves attention. General, you are here. Seeing the general, the 3 people quickly stopped their training tasks and quickly gathered in front of the general. Let me introduce to you, this is Fang Ye, a student. Fang Ye, these 3 people are Lu Li Xin, Wu Xin, and Yan Quan. The general gave each of them a brief introduction, and they seemed to know each other. The personalities of these 3 people are basically reflected in their faces. Yan Quan looks very simple and honest, but also calm. If you guessed correctly, he should be the captain. Lu Lixin looks aloof. She is a very sassy woman. Unintentionally gives Fang Ye the impression that she is highly aggressive. This team is not simple. This is the first feeling in Fang Ye's heart. General, do you have another mission? Yan Quan looked at Fang Ye casually, then looked at the general, frowned slightly, and said in a deep voice. Yes, I'm afraid I need your help this time. This is a very important task, and it even affects our military. As soon as the military headquarters was mentioned, the 3 of them immediately became solemn and looked serious. Then, the general briefly explained the current situation to the 3 of them. After understanding everything, Yan Quan and others nodded slightly. This is what it looks like, we get it. We'll get the job done. Yan Quan agreed. The general nodded. Fang Ye has already gone in once, so he knows the inside better. He will go with you this time and can also help you. Hearing this, the 3 of them turned their attention to Fang Ye in unison. Feeling the somewhat cold gaze, Fang Ye felt as if he was being targeted by Yan Quan. This feeling was very uncomfortable. But he said hello naturally. Hello everyone, I hope we can have a pleasant cooperation. Yan Quan glanced at Fang Ye softly and spoke softly. Are you a student? Fang Ye nodded in agreement. Yes, your courage is commendable. The 10th restricted area is a dangerous direction. It is not easy for you to escape from the hands of the God's agents. This is a more pertinent statement. At the same time, it can be considered that they recognized Fang Ye's strength. The 3 of them did not say anything more. The general said again. This time the matter is more urgent, so we can't delay. Get ready and set off immediately. I have arranged for people to help you activate space teleportation. Yan Quan and others nodded slightly. Understood, let's prepare now. Just when the 3 of them turned around and wanted to leave, Fang Ye's voice suddenly sounded. And what he said immediately silenced him. Yan Quan and others even stopped. The general also stood aside slightly. Ashamed. Is there one thing that hasn't been said yet? Our team of 4 should have a clear leader. I really don't know whether I should say that Fang Ye is young and frivolous, or that he is arrogant. The tempers of these 3 people are usually fine. But when something happens and they start to take things seriously, it becomes serious. These 3 people are all proud at heart. People think highly of themselves. Of course, they also have such confidence and strength. No one will be unconvinced. The general took a step back silently to express his attitude and did not want to get involved. Yan Quan and others turned around slightly with interest. Wu Xian slowly walked up to Fang Ye. He glanced at him lightly and spoke in a deep voice. "Boy, what are you talking about? Do you want to say it again?" Fang Ye was not timid at all, as if he didn't hear the warning in the other person's words. "I said the four of us haven't decided on the captain yet." As his voice fell again, the scene was completely silent. The general on the side even had the urge to leave directly. Fang Ye is really powerful and has a very good talent. He is a young man who can be cultivated in the military department. But with three old men who have been famous for a long time, Yu Xiao is challenging. This is not a wise choice. Haha, you young man is quite interesting. How about we use the most traditional method? Whoever is the strongest will be the captain. Wu Xian smiled faintly. There was a chill in his words that penetrated deep into his bones. But Fang Ye was not afraid. He happily agreed. It's a joke. He wants to be dictated by others for the rest of his life. He is really determined to be the captain. That's what I meant. When two proud people collide, there is bound to be an impact. This is just a common situation. Lu Lixin and Yan Quan glanced at Fang Ye, thoughtfully, but with no expression. Like this, there are too many people who are young and frivolous and think they are very high despite having some strength. Especially the geniuses who come out of colleges and universities. These people come to the military and want to show off their strength. But the end is often miserable. That is, experience a severe beating from the military. So they didn't think it was that strange. Fang Ye and Wu Xian were confronting each other in the huge arena. The weapons Wu Xian used were double swords. The opponent's ability turned out to be an S-class ghost swordsman. When the opponent showed after gaining his own energy, Fang Ye was also slightly surprised. S level is not easy. This is basically the top ability. In the academy, he is also a big shot, at least at the top of the academy's ability rankings. The existence of 10. And this is only the C level unit of the military. The B level and A level are so outrageous. Let alone the S level. Don't be careful, I'm just a student, don't take it too seriously, it's almost enough. The general on the side said, slightly embarrassed. At the same time, he was also worried about Fang Ye. If you say you are fine, why would you challenge other people's authority? The general knows Fang Ye's strength and talent.